All right, here we are. We showed up at the marina. We're getting ready to launch our boat. What I did is I pulled up into the staging area. Every marina is going to have an area where you can stage. What that means is getting your boat ready. Don't pull up and back into the boat launch. Get ready, sit on the ramp, block other people. Even if there's nobody here, as soon as you do that, somebody's going to pull up who's ready to launch. This is where you get your boat ready. You take off the straps in the rear. You make sure your plug is in. You make sure your key is in. Make sure anything that you want on the boat, it's easy to put it in now. I don't recommend you put people in. Sometimes they put people in. I don't recommend that. I don't like that process. They can get in off the pier once you're there. So we've got everything prepared. We've got the straps off the rear. We've got our ropes ready. So there's two ways of doing this by yourself. First off, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna back up to where the boat is just almost floating. Then I'm gonna start the motor, and I'm actually gonna back the boat off the trailer because I'm doing this solo. If I had somebody with me, I would have two ropes, not one, and two ropes. One midway or to the front and one to the rear so they could hold it. As I bump it off the trailer, you back it up until it's floating, just a little bit more, and then you pull the truck off and the person on the pier can hold the ropes. Now, mind you, person on the pier, make sure they can hold that boat. If it's a windy day, you might wanna wrap those ropes around one of the poles or cleats. Don't get somebody pulled into the water trying to hold onto a boat. If worse comes to worse, let the boat go, but we're not gonna let that happen to you because you're going to tie the rope around the pole so you have some leverage on it. So you're gonna see me back up real close to the pier where I can get from the pier onto the boat and back the boat off. So I do have my rear straps off already. I did check, the plug is in, my key is in. I'm going to turn the blower on now because this is an inboard. Remember, inboard, the motor is inside a closed compartment. Gas fumes built up. The blower is what circulates the air and takes any built up fumes. You start that motor with built up fumes, you can blow up your boat, literally. So let's not do that. I'm going to start the blower so it's running now, and then that'll be all cleared out, ready for me to start the key and back off. So let's do that. All right, our blower's ready. Our straps are off. I'm gonna take one more walk around. Don't panic. If you do this right, you don't ever have to rush. Take your time and be systematic. I always walk around one more time. I can see that this is ready to go. This is nice and tight. It's gonna hold my boat. That's all it's gonna be holding when I back it in. Everything else is loose. I'm gonna check. Okay, I've got my rope midway. My plug is in. Motor's trimmed up. Once I start the motor, I am gonna have to trim it down. Don't forget that. Let's do this. As you're moving into your spot to back in, pull up plenty far. It's easier to back straight than to back around a corner. I can see where I'm going. I know which launch ramp. There's 4 of them here numbered. Get my boat nice and straight behind me and back her up. Again, I'm going to get nice and close to the pier so that I can jump right off because I'm doing this by myself. It's always got to be careful if you're going to be jumping off a boat onto a pier, so you want to get as close as you can. If you're not good at backing up a boat and you can't get close enough to the pier to do that, don't make any long jumps. Look for some help. Most marinas have people there to help you. Looks like my boat is floating. I'm good to go. I'm going to put the parking brake on. Car is in park. I'm actually going to turn it off also so that nothing can happen. And here we go. What I've been doing today, because I'm by myself, is a power load and unload. I could tie up my rope, back up and leave the boat and leave it tied up, but I've done this before, so I'm going to go ahead and power unload. As you can see, nice and close, no big deal. Get on my boat. Oh, she doesn't feel like she's floating. I might want to back up just a little farther. Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Well, I guess worst thing happens, we find out an example of what to do. If you didn't, so making sure my blower's on. And let's come on up and reach over the front and unhook our winch. There we go, we are unhooked from the trailer. Let's see if we can back her off. I'm going to trim down so I get some power going. Get a good bite. And there we go, we are launched. Now I can just pull into a docking space, tie her up. There you have it, launching a boat by yourself. Pretty easy. There you go, safely back into my slip. If I was tying to the dock, I'd tie it to the dock, but unloaded successfully all by myself, easy as pie. Hey, I'm Jim Starwalt, leader of the Star Home Team at Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Give us a call today.